Hello, and a warm welcome to Conny Decorates today. And of course with heart, and with heart too, is Misha, the cameraman. That's right. And with even more heart from the side.
Oh, Annette, I truly and honestly didn't mean to interrupt you at all.
Exactly. We're here right now in Chilches near Malaga, and we thought we'd do a really lovely tour and show you what it's like here at Anette and Graham's place. And that's why I'd say just stay tuned, because we're about to show you this beautiful domicile or paradise, thank you. And as I said, we're near Malaga. And Ches, most of you know Anette and all the other amigas like Raquel who live here in Andalusia. And Anette and Graham have here near Malaga, I'd say about 20 kilometers up towards Necha. Maybe some of you know it. A truly beautiful spot here, a wonderful coastline, and you can really still find peace and quiet here. Up here in Chilches, if there are tourists, they're Spanish, but most of the people here are actually those who live by the beach, and that always creates such a wonderful atmosphere that Misha and I absolutely love. Even when we lived in Seville, we often went to Punta Umbria because that's where the Spaniards are. The property is quite large and sits very high up. You'll see it in a moment. Sorry, you'll see it in a moment. It's really warm, and you can look right out over the Mediterranean. And I'd say let's just head over there. This here is the side entrance or the walkway to the terrace. You can already see it. You can probably already see the sea back there. And what we have here, there are lots of pots with plants and palm trees. You'll keep seeing that throughout. We'll go downstairs again later because these are all the plants that Anette has already placed here for the pool landscaping. The house itself is, let's just say, a bit older, and Anette has done a great job restoring it, giving it a fresh look and creating new rooms. And the next project is simply planting around the pool. That's going to look really beautiful. There will be some truly wonderful cozy spots, covered, beautiful, comfortable, in a boho style, and really everything you can imagine. Sorry, and as I said, here are the plants, all in pots everywhere. Also here, like the strelitzia, which will be cut back, so to speak. It will also be replanted below as a kind of protection. So this is really another big project for the fall. And I'm sure that next year everything will already look absolutely wonderful. So don't be surprised why the plants here are often already in pots. And then let's just leisurely walk through here. And this is indeed the very beginning of the expansive terrace when you first come in, situated prominently on your right-hand side. And you can already clearly see on the left here the entire magnificent, sparkling sea stretching out before you. Right down here, if you simply go down the charming street, the beautiful sandy beach is conveniently located right there, easily accessible and inviting. All of this has been newly renovated. As you know, I'm a runner. I go running every morning in the dark. It's so beautiful because the paths are so well made, all brand new. There are already runners, cyclists and dog owners out with their dogs. So it's really fantastic. Let's walk around here once. Now we'll show you, this is the living room from the outside, and right after that is the dining area. A really lovely little buffet room has been created there. It was already put to good private use this year. And here, of course, we also have some really nice cozy corners, which is just fantastic. And especially here when it's hot, and it's still hot, you can really find spots where you get some shade. And that's really the case here. As I said, here we have these eggs or bells. We have hammocks here, and those are still the lights from summer. Of course, there's still a bit of stuff standing around here. Back there actually is the route. We had that about 3 years ago when Misha and I were here. Here we did some really great Mediterranean decorations, but they've now been taken down, and I'll show you why in a moment. But before I show you that, I can just pan the camera down for a moment. So there's a lot. Everything has been cleared out here, and all the pots are already there. These are all the carob tree projects now. Just look at that, how beautiful it is with the platform, and there's still a lot more to come. And if you pan over from up here, you can of course see the entire Mediterranean all the way up. Back there, maybe you can see it. That's Malaga, as I said, about 20 kilometers away. And down here, what I really, really love is the pool. I also love swimming, and I enjoy doing my laps, which is possible in this pool. It's just fantastic, and the whole area around it is getting a new look, being newly planted, and new spots are being created. Misha and I have really made the most of it these past few days. We stayed here until it got dark. You can sit wherever you want. There are great shady spots, and this is our surprise, our new addition. That's why we haven't been in touch so often, or rather we actually wanted to do some decorating, but that wasn't possible. This dog started following me one day while I was out running in Seville at Annette's place and just wouldn't leave. So we tried to find out who the dog belonged to, went to the police, but she wasn't chipped. Misha couldn't bear to leave her either, and as I said, Sophie really needed a friend, and here she is. This is our little Charlotte. She's absolutely cat friendly. She was already at our friend's animal clinic in Kamna, got all her vaccinations, was chipped, and there are always cats at the clinic. Also, Anette here has cats, and she's just wonderful. That means our 4 cat furballs can look forward to a little friend, and so can Sophie, because her best friend, who also lives in Seville, is little Maxel. We can show a few photos of him at the end. He's also an Andalusian breed, the Bodeguero Andaluz, basically the typical Spanish house and yard dog that many Spaniards have here. And Maxel is still with Anette in Seville, and he was Sophie's best friend. When I picked her up, it was a little heartbreaking separation. But now we have little Charlotte, and Sophie will, I'm sure, be very, very happy. So you see, the connection here isn't just about friendship, which is of course the most important thing, but there are also so many friendships among the furry ones, and we have so many connections, and that's the most beautiful thing of all. I'd say let's head down to the pool now and take another look at it from there. Of course, what's really important is enjoyment, and I mean anyone who's ever been to Spain or Andalusia knows the Spanish cuisine is simply fantastic, and what goes along with that. Of course, spices, and when they're fresh it's even better. Spices, herbs, and I think that's just absolutely fantastic too. Annette made us a basil pesto with mozzarella yesterday. You can't imagine how delicious it was. She picked the basil, blended it wonderfully with spices, and got these lovely little mozzarella balls from Megadona, and we had the best meal you could possibly imagine up here on the terrace. Sometimes less is more, but it's just fantastic. Of course, cheese, ham, and everything else from the region goes perfectly with it, and it's a light meal that's always a delight. I'd say let's head downstairs. Pots, pots, pots. As I said, in just a few more days things will truly get started here, and they'll really begin the important process of planting. More rich, fertile soil still needs to be carefully added here, and of course this is an absolutely wonderful feel-good spot, perfectly situated under this beautiful ancient carob tree. It provides so much shade. But the problem here is that we have a pine tree and it damages the soil a bit. It makes the soil too acidic, and that really doesn't suit this tree at all. That's why we're currently looking into soil replacement here. How can we improve the soil for this tree? What needs to be removed? So there's still a lot more to it. It's not just about planting things. You also have to consider what fits, what needs shade, what needs sun. And I can tell you there's an incredible amount of sun by the pool, so a lot of shaded areas are being created. And it's of course important to have plants there that can handle a lot of sun. Most importantly, they need to be easy to care for and not require much water, because that's really a huge problem here right now. Especially with the water shortage, it's really difficult to keep the plants that used to make it through the summer here, because it's getting warmer, longer and hotter every year. My pool, as I said, I like the length, and of course it really is a luxury. There's no other way to put it. It's truly a great thing. And while swimming here, you have a fantastic view of the Mediterranean. But what's also important here is that we have houses, and now the planting is being planned so that the plants grow tall enough to cover the houses, while still allowing you to see the sea behind them. That means you have greenery, and right behind it the sea, and that's just fantastic. So now I'll show you this perspective again, or rather, Michael will show you this perspective, and Annette is looking a bit sad about it. She was actually a bit upset too, because she had an idea of how the house should be painted, and she said to me, "This is really childish." Unfortunately, the painter didn't do it the way she wanted. Right now it is what it is, but you can already see from the colors that colors are really, really important to Annette, and they have such a big impact on emotions and well-being. That's why I think the idea is really beautiful. And yes, we'll see how it looks once it's been repainted, But I have to say, up here it's also beautiful. There's a huge bird of paradise plant, as you can see, and I think this spot behind it is just lovely. We said we'd create some truly great corners here, envisioning inviting and comfortable seating areas where you can really linger for extended periods, unwind completely, and just relax in a peaceful atmosphere. The detailed plans for these wonderful spaces are currently being meticulously developed and finalized right here, ensuring every aspect is perfect. Misha will show you. Anette has taken an exact copy of it from above, and now, for example, the measurements. Everything has to be measured out, how the seating areas are arranged, how the plants are planted, and where they can be placed. Exactly, and that's what's being done here right now. And you can see it again here, these beautiful spots that Anette, of course, has created in a very creative and individual way, just wonderfully designed for this gorgeous pool. What do you call that? Yes, a feel-good spot at Conny's wonderful favorite pool. So, and then you come in here and you have a wonderful, beautiful, how should I put it? It used to be my living room. But just look at what Anette has created. This is a feel-good spot, yes, for coming together, for wonderful conversations, or simply to relax, unwind, maybe even take a little nap, which I think is just lovely. I really love it, these canopies up here that she has decorated and fixed everywhere with the curtains. It all comes together so perfectly, and you just can't help but feel comfortable here. And when you come over here, which I also think is fantastically done, you have this sense of togetherness, but at the same time, everyone has their own separate space. Whether you want to connect with someone or just have a chat, everything is open, but the areas are still more or less private for each person. This way, everyone can decide for themselves where they want to be, maybe sit outside, lie in the hammock, have breakfast by the pool, just sit here with their family or have a chat next door. Exactly, and here the buffet is set up so beautifully, and what's really lovely is that in the summer, all the windows are opened here. We've already been here from the outside once, and then everything is opened up and you really get the feeling that you're actually outside. So this blending of outdoors and indoors, letting it all flow together, it's just fantastic. And if Misha can make it up here again, if he still has the energy, I'd say, look, up here they've also decorated everything really beautifully and naturally. Look at this, these tillandsias. I remember when we were closer, we also made that video in the bay. That was really beautiful too. But here, how cute. Even the jellyfish are handmade and the shells, it's just simply beautiful. Yes, and I can only say the most important thing is always doing it with heart. And what she also did, these pine cabinets were super, super cheap. I think that's a really cool thing too. They just painted them together, made it a joint project, and yes, absolutely fantastic. Here's the kitchen, a real Spanish kitchen, just like you know them. Exactly, here you have the countertop in the middle, and here, let me show you real quick. This is a pod from the carob tree, really great for gluten intolerance or gluten sensitivity, as it's commonly understood. Right, so you can make flour with it or make flour out of it. You can bake bread or anything with it, and it's delicious. You can really eat it. I ate a pod yesterday. They're a bit sweet and you can kind of crack them open. You just have to be careful. There are always seeds inside and they're super hard, but it's a really cool snack, super healthy. And I'll just say they're lying around all over the farm, so you can just snack on them in between. Then I'd say, let's just go from the kitchen over to the new rooms. Anette was just able to tell me which plants are going to be put in here at the front, and I think it's the agave.
Yeah, indeed. That's right.
See, I wouldn't have known that actually, but
And succulents, exactly.
Absolutely everything that needs little water. We already discussed this topic earlier, and the plants here are planted according to height or how much space there is above. She told me too, I don't know his name. These are the cacti with the names without spines, right? No idea what they are called.
Excuse me.
No, indeed.
But bloom beautifully. Yes, they have such large white flowers that only bloom for one night. And in the morning you can see them after a few hours. And here, I don't know, they are in the shade a lot, which is good because then they need less water. And they are a nice green. But unfortunately, I can't say the name. I don't know.
Please find out and just write your valuable thoughts to us in the comments section below right now if you can. Misha can pan over, then you can see it. The door is wide open and the light is definitely on. So let's carefully go in, Misha. I'll try my best to turn on all the available lights here so that you can clearly see a bit more. It's naturally a bit cooler and more refreshing in here, I would certainly say. And what all the small rooms or all the rooms have is air conditioning. That's definitely a real luxury. That's fantastic, especially in the summer. And I'd say, let's head over here or into this cozy room. You just have to feel comfortable here. I also love the colors of this wallpaper with the sea and all the beautiful little details, whether it's the beach look of the lamp or the covers on the beds and pillows. Even the minimalist touches are wonderfully done. And then there's the wardrobe space, which is perfect if you're only staying for a few days. But there's also room to put your suitcase here. Exactly, such beautiful shelves. Annette painted them herself too. I think they're really, really lovely with those colors. And this is kind of, yeah, what kind of board is this? Is this also upcycled?
Upcycled? Those were all scraps.
All scraps.
The door behind you, those were all leftover pieces.
Exactly. I think Sevilla too, right? Exactly. Some of you already know Sevilla, and a lot was built there. A lot is still being done, and it's all upcycling. So it's all made from leftover wood. And the coolest thing of all, the sinks here in these rooms, in these absolutely beautiful rooms, they're made from her olive tree. Exactly, it's all olive wood down here too. I just think that's amazing. It's so beautiful and it gives the whole place an extra touch and such a wonderful flair. We can show you the shower again. It's truly quite cool too, super incredibly cozy and just absolutely fantastic. Each of the spacious rooms here has wonderful large windows, which I personally think is more than enough for comfort and natural light. Most of the time you're out on the wonderful terrace anyway. Yesterday an old colleague of mine was here and he said if you have the terrace you don't even need a view or to be outside. You're really only in here if you want some peace and quiet or just want to sleep, because it's just too beautiful to stay inside this gorgeous room when you could be outside. And because of that, it's just fantastic. I'd say let's go into the second room.
So this is a limonero lunero. It's called that because it has blossoms all year round and also ripe lemons all year round. That means you can see the blossoms here really nicely. Up there you could see lemons. And if you pan down just a little bit further, Misha, then you will clearly see these tiny, delicate little lemons here. And underneath them, you will also find beautiful, fragrant blossoms. Right next to them, there are already small lemons and again blossoms, some of them half wilted. These lemon blossoms smell so wonderful. Unfortunately, there aren't many lemons left. There are still a few, because our summer guests always took advantage of that and made themselves fresh lemon water in the mornings. So there aren't many ripe lemons left.
Exactly, we had that wonderful lemon tree and now this other beautiful one that Annette just introduced to us. Then here we have an orange tree. And when can you harvest them, Annette?
They are typically ripe around the festive Christmas time, and if you gently scratch them a little bit now, you can already clearly see it quite well.
Yes, it's really beautiful. I love this orange scent. This is the dune room, dunas, that's what it's called, right? Anette in Spanish. We also want to learn a little more again. You can really do that fantastically here. So if you know Spanish, feel free to try it out. Here you always find one or another word you can take home with you, and I think that's really lovely too. So this is also kind of my favorite. I also love the grasses, even back home in Germany. And I truly think it gives, I don't quite know how to precisely put it, a certain kind of, let's say, delightful holiday feeling. Yeah, more water is just, and sand, maybe it's the sand, I don't know, the colors. I also really love these sandy colors, and maybe that's it too. Exactly. So long story short, it's a beautiful room and I love this coat rack, and now I'm absolutely inspired to do something with bamboo at home myself. I think it's really great, as I said. It's an absolutely wonderful upcycling idea. Everything fits together perfectly. We just decided that this clothes hanger from the dry cleaner could be used really well. Maybe you could make another wreath here or something, yes, with grasses or something like that. That would fit really well here on the left wall, but otherwise, no, everything is fantastic and it really was a lot of fun. And I also think these little flowers here are really beautiful. It's always these little details with Anette that really bring everything together and make it absolutely perfect for me. Exactly, so let's take a look over here. This area has just been, or still needs to be cleaned because there were just a few people here before us. And what I find absolutely fantastic is that all the windows have mosquito nets, which means you can really leave the windows open day and night and you're truly protected, because I think you all know how unpleasant it can be otherwise. And here again, all the upcycling from the old or leftover wood from Seville, the little shelves that have been put in everywhere. And again, the door, as I said, all the doors are beautifully painted, but you can still see the grain perfectly, which I always think is super important. And here again, the olive tree that so wonderfully supports the sink, just amazing. Now we're going into the tropical room. You can come in again. Yes, I think the wallpaper is absolutely world class. I don't know if you've seen the video from Seville. We'll make another video there where we have the jungle room, which I also find really beautiful, but this is something completely different again, especially with the animals in here and the birds up above in the picture. So everywhere you look, you keep finding little animals, and yes, it's absolutely calming, really beautiful. Here again, we have this brilliant idea with the upcycling. Instead of a wardrobe, we've simply put bamboo on the wall. The towels are always lovingly decorated and already laid out. Let's just put it that way. And here again, our beautiful bathroom. And behind Michael, we have another old board from Sèvres, which I also think is really beautiful, painted here. There's also plenty of space to store your things, and that's it, we're done. We've been here at Chilches and we've had so much fun and joy these past few days. We're really grateful for that. Thank you so much, Anette.
Yes, thank you for being here. It was really lovely and, as always, fun.
So,
New.
Everything's new, and instead of decorations, we actually have a little something here now. This little shallot, which we're going to take with us.
It wasn't pickled.
It wasn't planned, took up a bit of time, but of course we're happy to do it for you, dear ones. And we hope you understand and that you really enjoyed it here today in Chilches. And of course we'd be happy if you give us a thumbs up, maybe leave a comment perhaps about the cactus. And yes, dear ones, if you have any suggestions for improvement, or maybe if you'd like to have a little outdoor audio core kitchen here for a coffee or tea, feel free to let us know in the comments as well. Yes, so dear ones, we're looking forward to it with you. No, actually, we're going to do another tour in Seville. We're heading over there today, so we're looking forward to doing another tour in Seville for you, with you in the coming days. We'll see you in a few days. Yours, Conny, and
Yours, Anette. See you soon.
Your cameraman. Yes, and of course now Charlotte too. Bye.